of the other questions was, how much do we think we're gonna get above listing price?
Drum roll. What's up, guys? Good morning. Buenos dias. Welcome back to the Bedoya Family Channel. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a Bedoya date.
So we just got done closing. We closed on our home. Today is May 11th. I believe we signed a contract April 19th. Dylan's birthday, shout out. We closed right on time. There was no hiccups. We can talk more about stats and we can talk about the whole process, but it was pretty smooth. The only thing that there was a minor issue was with the appraisal, but other than that, everything was pretty easygoing. And then from there it was just waiting, and we'll be right back.
So we made it home, and now we're really excited because we left you on a cliffhanger last time. Daniel and I had a little game.
So we had a couple of questions last time we recorded a video, and we didn't give the answers yet because we wanted to wait until everything was closed and everything was
Totally
fully
final.
done. Yep, and that is right now.
Because money just hit the bank.
First question was, how many offers did we think we were gonna get? And I don't remember what we said before, but I do remember how many. So I do remember how many appointments we got. We had a total of 31 confirmed appointments. Out of those 31 confirmed appointments, 15 made an offer. So we had 15 offers, and what we did is we listed the property on a Friday, and so by Sunday we said highest and best.
I already said all this in the video.
I don't know.
I already said all this.
Okay.
You don't watch the videos?
You already said how many appointments we did? And how
Yeah.
many offers we got?
That's when we were on our way to go to Lynn's office.
No, but that was only how many appointments we got, but we didn't know how many offers we had at that time.
No, we don't know about the offers, but you're
Okay.
just going down and repeating yourself.
Well, is everyone going to remember? Or are they going to go back and watch the video or what?
Okay, fine. I just didn't want you
Well,
to
you repeat the
yourself.
question and then you give the answer, I think.
Okay.
One of the other questions was, how much above listing are we going to get? I do remember the response to that. I said 20,000 above. Nikki was optimistic at 25 above. And we're both right. We're both right because it was 20 plus 25 and we got
That's
45 above asking. Crazy.
I like that.
Yeah.
You didn't say that before.
Nope, that was on the spot. I just looked at the numbers and they added up to 45. We're super excited. 45 above was way above the. I mean, to be honest, I made my own calculations assuming we were only going to get the listing price, and assuming that we only got the listing price, that was enough for us to get our new home. Any cash offers?
Yes, regarding cash offers, there were no cash offers.
Nope.
Nope. And it didn't matter because we had a really strong offer, and I'm going to just talk a little bit about what made it so strong. So when we were sitting down with our realtor, she had already let us know that the interested buyer had already kind of been calling several times and even said, I'm not sure if they were pregnant and actually had twins, but there was a mention of twins and that they would be named after us if we were to sell our house to them. On a more technical side, what made it strong was they had a large amount of money to put down. They had a large amount in earnest money. They were gonna pay the title policy, which is something that we, the sellers, customarily pay for. So like today at closing, knowing that they paid for that made it so awesome. And it showed that they really want the house. They were going to pay for their own survey.
If that was necessary, but it wasn't.
They were not asking for a home warranty. They were able to close May 11th, which is today, and it's amazing how it lined up perfectly. Surprisingly, out of all the offers that we did go through, they were the fastest close date, and they were the highest offer.
Yep.
They weren't asking for any seller's concessions. They did not have their own house to sell. They weren't asking for any non-realty items to be left back, such as a refrigerator, for example.
Going back to the non-house to sell. I think that was really important because
Oh, yes.
basically you can accept an offer with the buyer having a contingency on them selling their house, and that just prolongs everything. So we did get a couple offers out of the 15 that were contingent upon the buyer selling their home, and we pretty much didn't even want to consider that because we wouldn't have been able to close as fast. So
for example, we kind of mentioned in the last update that our neighbor had a coworker who, he wanted to put in a good word for, that we were considering and excited to see their offer, but unfortunately that was one of the factors to consider, and the fact that we would have to wait and risk their offer being on if they can sell their house made us kind of just cross them off the consideration list. They were able to get their financing approved within 7 days, which is good and fast. They have a full appraisal waiver, meaning it doesn't matter what the house appraises for. They were going to pay whatever they're willing to pay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then so one note on that though, there was a slight hiccup there with the appraisal. Everyone was under the assumption, like our realtor, their realtor, and we didn't even think about this, but
because we're first-time home sellers,
mm-hmm.
and we didn't know.
Yeah, but the problem was that we were under the assumption that our house would be appraised for at least the value that we were listing it at, and it actually didn't appraise for that amount. It appraised for slightly lower, close to $10,000 less than what we listed it at, and the reason why is because our actual HOA and our community is so small. There's only 3 streets where our house is located, and so those homes don't really go up for sale that often. And the last time that they did, it was before this whole seller's market boom going on. Yeah. So since the community is so small, they have to look at comps, and the comps are, what did your street, what did your HOA sell for? And at that point, it's lower than what the market is because our homes in that community don't go for sale that often. And so the offer that we got was actually $55,000 over the listing price. But because the appraisal came in about $10,000 lower, we had to adjust the price down because otherwise,
they did ask us.
Yeah, they did ask us, but even though they had the full appraisal waiver, they were still willing to pay above appraisal, which above appraisal, they still paid like $55,000 above appraisal. The issue was though it didn't appraise for the listing price, and if we wanted to keep that $55,000 above the listing price, then they would have to come up with another $10,000, as their down payment, and $10,000 is $10,000. So in order to keep the process moving, we're not greedy. We're already very grateful for what we got. We said, hey, we can knock down, the price, because we knocked down their initial offer. It came down $10,000 less, so that they could be within the range of still paying $55,000 above listing price, but they didn't have to come up with the additional $10,000. And so we didn't know anything about that. That was something new to us.
So we want to share that with you so that when you're ready to sell your home, Yeah,
and you might, I don't know if it's worth it as a seller. I mean, sellers normally don't do an appraisal. It's just the buyer. The buyer pays for the appraisal. But as a seller, you can purchase the appraisal, an independent appraisal. You can have a good idea of what your home should go for at the point in time when you're selling. So, if you want to do that, it makes sense. It's just, you probably pay $600 or $700 for that. But it gives you some peace of mind of knowing, okay, I know I'm pretty confident in the listing price that I'm going to put it
I
at.
wanted that peace of mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it worked out for us either way. But
yeah.
Yeah, it appraised for what it appraised for. You can't really change that. Although we could have argued it, like asked them to reconsider it, but that would have delayed everything. And we both decided it was better to knock down the price $10,000 and close as soon as possible, rather than having to wait and see what would happen.
Okay, the very last thing that really solidified their offer was reading their letter to us. They explained how much they love the house and immediately felt like home. That really struck a chord with me because I remember being in Mass and I was praying to God that for everyone who walked into our home felt a sense of peace, and if obviously not everyone could get the house. People are just going in there and considering that as an option, but I just really wanted God to intervene in this and to help those people determine whether or not it was for them, like really, really feel like this is truly for us, or this is like not for us, not anything that's on the fence. And after hearing the details of what they liked about our house and saying that the light was coming through, I think they felt a warmth of like a sun ray or something like shining, made me feel like that is exactly what I was hoping would happen. And then they envisioned our home being a place where they can start their own family. Yeah, just made me feel like I want this offer, and let's not even worry about the other offers. Of course, we considered kind of some of them, but truly they were hard to say no to, since as you can see, they were willing to cover everything. They offered so much to us, them not having a home to sell, everything being quick, them ready, them kind of guaranteeing that their finances are in order.
Overall, it was super strong, and I did like the letter. They really took the time to write the letter. I've heard before that buyers write the sellers a letter as to why they should sell them the home, and I would just, I kind of assume that it would be more of like, you know, a cut and paste, like, hi, my name is blah, and I like your home located in blah. But that was not the case. There were very specific details. You could really tell that they really wanted the house, and they put up, like we said, a super strong offer all the way around, based on down payment, based on earnest money, based on how fast they could close, based on how much they're willing to go above the listing price, based on the full appraisal waiver, them paying the title policy. All that is just like, I don't know, unheard of. I think it was a super great offer. They surely stood out. You know, they were the outlier at the top of the corner as far as compared to everyone else. So yeah, they definitely knew what they were doing.
Or were guided, because this was their first home too. Guided very well. We are so grateful to God, and of course, I just think it's amazing how everyone comes together as a community. We have one goal in mind, that's like, hey, we want to move, we need to sell our home, and everyone comes together. You know, people coming over to show our house, talk about it. It's just an amazing community effort, and it worked out beautifully in our favor. So we're so happy.
Right. So, of course, we are super grateful to God for giving us this gift. And we're also grateful for several people who helped get our house ready. Mr. Mendez did our landscape. We're super grateful for that. He did do the backyard, what's it called?
French drain.
The French drain. That's what he did, yeah. And then we're also grateful to our primo Rafa, who he painted a lot of different things. He got it ready, and he was able to match our kitchen color to be uniform throughout the house. And then of course we're grateful to our realtor. She was able to, you know, price the house accordingly to where we got a lot of buyers who were interested. And not only that, but they went above the listing price.
If you want any of their information because you live in the Wiley area, let me know, and I will definitely get that information. Just send me a DM.
And then one other thing that I wanted to talk about was how everything that we did to the house was absolutely necessary. I don't think we would have gotten such a strong offer even in a multiple offers, even in a seller's market.
How much do you think we spent on our repairs?
I think in total we spent a little over $17,000 getting it ready, but we got way more in return. You know, the flooring was the most expensive thing, but I think that's what really like drew everyone to the house. The new flooring just was like a key selling point. And then having the cabinets to be uniform with the kitchen, making them, you know, that white, that nice white color throughout the house is really nice. Makes the house, you know, pop and stand out as opposed to it being, you know, having a white kitchen and then a brown bath. Well, yeah.
And the landscaping too.
With the storm, killed all our plants. We had to pretty much, there was only one plant to survive. Other than that,
gutted everything.
We put in a new tree because actually our tree had already died before the snowstorm, but we had a new tree. And then the French drain was also super important for two reasons. One, whenever we were disclosing all the problems with the house, that was actually the only problem, but it's a very important problem. There was drainage issues in the backyard, and so we didn't feel comfortable putting the house there. And
Daniel's honest.
yeah, I didn't.
I am too, but like it really.
Yeah, I just couldn't put it on there and say there's no issues with drainage when we know there's an issue with drainage. And then it actually rained. It's been raining a lot and really heavily. So, and even during the showings, it had either rained before or rained during. So they would have been able to tell right away, and that would have turned them away, really, because I wouldn't want to buy a house with drainage issues. When we bought it, you know, it was perfect weather. It was late in October, no rain, so it looked very nice. And so we kind of had no idea about it. Now, you know, when it was our turn to sell, we couldn't just list it like that. So the drainage was very important. Another thing that was super cost effective, I think this was probably our greatest return on investment, was the fence. Our fence, in reality, it needs to be replaced, but it was, you know, due to the winds and the wood and like lots of rain.
Using the weed eater and taking off the paint.
Yeah, the fence was very crooked. There were some boards that were missing already. And so we had our same landscape, Mr. Mendez, come out and he straightened out the fence, and Rafa came in and then just stained it. And it looks really nice. It looks like a totally different fence. So I think that was actually our greatest return on investment because it wasn't that expensive to do. And it just made the house look so much better. Like you don't even think about the fence now.
Okay, so before we keep going down the rabbit hole and boring you with all these details, if you want to know anything.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I'm just saying they're important to me. They were very interesting to me. But I mean,
if you want to know any details, please use the comments below.
Yeah, to all our 40 subscribers, yes. Yes,
all our 40 subscribers, please show me some love.
Thank you for watching this video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs